Decoded.
Welcome back to Book Decoded, everybody, where we sniff out all those hidden gems in the world of nonfiction. Today, we're diving nose first right into The Forgotten Sense by Jonas Olofsson. Get ready to have your minds blown because we're about to explore a sense we often take for granted: smell.
It's true. We see the world, hear the world, touch it, taste it. But often our sense of smell is just running in the background. This book really brings it to the forefront and you start to realize how much it influences us.
Absolutely. Jonas Olofsson kicks things off with this hilarious story about his family tradition eating surströmming fermented herring. I looked it up, and let's just say it's infamous for its potent aroma.
It's a great example of how our sense of smell is so culturally shaped. Imagine growing up with that smell as a beloved tradition. It highlights how our early exposures and cultural norms really mold what we find pleasant or repulsive. And get this, even babies in the womb can start developing smell preferences based on what their mother eats.
Whoa, so our smell journey begins even before we're born. That's wild. Okay, so one thing I always hear is that humans have a weak sense of smell compared to, say, dogs. But this book totally debunks that myth.
It does. Olofsson dives into research by Matthias Laska, which reveals something amazing. Humans are actually more sensitive to a lot of odor molecules than many animals. We can even outperform rats and mice in some cases.
So those cartoon cliches of dogs being the ultimate sniffers while we're just stumbling around cluelessly are totally wrong.
Well, dogs are definitely champions in the olfactory world, but we're not as far behind as we might think. The book dives into the science behind this, and it turns out we've been underestimating our own noses for centuries.
That's fascinating. So why do we have this idea that smell is our weakest sense?
Olofsson traces this devaluation of smell all the way back to ancient Greece. Aristotle, for example, considered smell to be the lowest of the senses, and this idea has lingered for centuries. It's interesting how historical biases, even from that long ago, can still shape our perceptions today.
It's like we've been living in an olfactory dark age. But now, thanks to advancements in neuroscience, we're finally starting to understand the true power of this sense. Speaking of science, let's get a little nerdy for a minute. How exactly does smell work?
All right, get ready for a microscopic adventure. So deep inside our noses, we have these incredible things called olfactory receptors. Think of them like tiny locks, and each odor molecule is a specific key. When the right key fits into the lock, it sends a signal to our brain, letting us perceive a particular smell.
So it's like a giant smell puzzle with millions of these tiny locks and keys. That's incredible.
Exactly, and the book goes even deeper, explaining how these signals travel through the olfactory bulb, the part of the brain dedicated to processing smells. It's directly connected to areas involved in memory and emotion, which explains why certain scents can instantly evoke vivid memories and feelings.
Oh, tell me about it. The smell of freshly baked cookies always takes me right back to my grandma's kitchen. It's like time travel in a single sniff.
That's the magic of the olfactory system. And the book explores these smell memories in depth. Did you know that, unlike other senses, smell signals bypass certain parts of the brain that usually filter and contextualize memories? This means smell memories can be more raw, more unfiltered, leading to that feeling of being instantly transported back to the original moment.
So smell memories are like a direct line to our past. It's almost as if our emotions are woven into the very fabric of those scents.
It really does. And the book delves into some fascinating research about how our brains can be tricked when it comes to smell. It's surprisingly easy to manipulate our perception of odors.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, think about those fancy air fresheners that claim to make your home smell like a tropical paradise. The scent itself might be artificial, but our brains, influenced by the packaging, the marketing, and even the color of the bottle, create the illusion of that tropical getaway.
You're telling me our noses can be fooled that easily? That's crazy. And this book dives into how companies use this to their advantage with scent marketing. Think about that irresistible aroma wafting from the bakery as you walk by. It's no accident.
Not at all. Cinnabon is a classic example. Their strategic use of cinnamon scent is practically legendary in the marketing world. It's a clever way to trigger cravings and lure customers in.
It's like they're playing a symphony on our noses. But that raises an interesting question. How much is too much? Where do we draw the line between enticing customers and manipulating them through scent?
That's a great point, and the book touches on the ethics of scent marketing. It's a bit of a gray area, especially when you consider things like aromatherapy. Many of the claims made about essential oils and their therapeutic benefits are based more on anecdotal evidence and personal associations than rigorous scientific research.
So while a lavender scent might make us feel relaxed, it might not actually have any proven medicinal properties.
Mm. The power of suggestion is a powerful thing, and our brains can easily fill in the blanks when it comes to smell. It's important to be critical thinkers and not just buy into every claim, especially when it comes to our health and well-being.
That's a great reminder. We need to be savvy sniffers. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something I find super intriguing.
Yeah.
Pheromones. You know those mysterious chemical signals that supposedly make us irresistible to potential partners? This book takes a deep dive into the whole pheromone debate, separating fact from fiction.
It's a fascinating and controversial area of research. While there's some evidence that pheromones play a role in animal communication and mating behavior, the science behind human pheromones is still murky.
So those pheromone perfumes promising to attract a swarm of suitors, are they just a clever marketing ploy?
Most likely, yes. The research on human pheromones is still inconclusive, and many of the claims made about them are exaggerated.
So it's more about finding someone whose natural scent you enjoy rather than relying on some magical pheromone potion.
Absolutely. Individual preferences play a huge role in how we perceive body odor. What smells attractive to one person might be completely off-putting to another, and that's okay. Our sense of smell is as unique as our fingerprints.
I love that. Our personal scent is part of what makes us special. Speaking of unique perspectives, one thing that really surprised me in this book was the connection between smell and dot politics.
Yes. This is where Jonas Olofsson's own research comes in. He's explored the link between disgust sensitivity, how easily we're grossed out by certain smells, and our political leanings.
Wait, seriously, you're telling me my reaction to a stinky cheese could predict my political views?
It's not quite that simple, but Olofsson's research suggests there is a correlation. People who are highly sensitive to disgusting smells, what he calls thin-skinned, tend to hold more conservative views. They're also more wary of unfamiliar things and people, perhaps as a way to protect themselves from potential threats.
That's so interesting. So our primal reactions to certain smells could be influencing our political ideologies.
It's a fascinating possibility. It highlights how deeply intertwined our biology and psychology are, even in areas we might not expect. Of course, it's important to remember that this is just one piece of the puzzle. There are many factors that contribute to our political beliefs.
For sure. But it definitely gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, smelling a rat in politics. This book has been full of surprises. So we've talked about the history of smell, the science behind it, how it shapes our memories and emotions, and even its surprising link to politics. But what about the future of smell? Can we actually improve our sense of smell, like training a muscle?
We can, and that's one of the most exciting takeaways from the book. Just like physical exercise strengthens our bodies, targeted smell exercises can actually enhance our olfactory abilities.
Smell training. I'm intrigued. What does that involve? Do I need to start sniffing 100 different spices every day?
It can be as simple as that. Smell training is all about focused, conscious smelling. Pay attention to the nuances of different scents. Try to identify the individual components of a complex aroma, like the subtle floral notes in a cup of tea or the earthy undertones of a fine wine.
It's like mindfulness meditation for your nose. I love it.
Exactly. It's about slowing down, being present in the moment, and engaging with the world of smell more actively.
So by practicing this mindful smelling, we can actually become better at recognizing and appreciating different aromas.
Yes. And the benefits go beyond just becoming a connoisseur of fine fragrances. Smell training has shown promise in helping people recover from smell loss, particularly after illnesses like COVID-19.
That's incredible. So by simply paying more attention to the world of smell, we can potentially enhance not just our sensory experience, but also our overall well-being.
You got it. It's all about becoming more nose-wise, as Olofsson puts it.
I love that term, becoming nose-wise. So what are some easy ways we can integrate this smell training into our daily lives?
Start by turning everyday activities into smell adventures. Consciously sniff your coffee in the morning, noticing its rich aroma. Pay attention to the subtle sense of nature as you walk through a park. Even something as simple as smelling different fruits at the grocery store can be a smell training exercise.
That's such a great reminder to slow down and appreciate the often overlooked sensory richness of our world. It's like we've been given this incredible gift of smell, and we often just take it for granted.
We do. But the good news is it's never too late to reawaken our sense of smell and discover the amazing olfactory symphony that surrounds us.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to become more nose-wise. This whole conversation has been a real eye-opener. I mean, who knew there was so much to learn about smell?
Right. It's one of those things we often take for granted, but the more you delve into it, the more fascinating it becomes.
Totally. And speaking of fascinating, Olofsson mentioned some pretty mind-blowing technologies on the horizon. Things like electronic noses that can detect and analyze odors digitally. Could we be heading towards a future where we can share smells online? Just like we share pictures and videos today.
It's definitely within the realm of possibility. Researchers are already developing devices that can capture and transmit odor profiles. Imagine being able to send the smell of your grandma's apple pie to a friend across the country, or experiencing the aroma of a distant rainforest through virtual reality.
That's incredible. It would be a whole new dimension of communication and sensory experience. It would be like bringing the world to our noses.
It would, and it raises some intriguing questions.
Yeah.
How might these technologies change our relationship with smell? Will we become more attuned to the nuances of scent, or will we become overwhelmed by a constant barrage of digital aromas?
Those are great questions. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting to think about.
It is. But that's the beauty of exploring the frontiers of science. It opens up new possibilities and challenges us to think differently about the world around us.
Well, I think it's safe to say that The Forgotten Sense has definitely made us rethink our assumptions about smell. It's a book that will make you see, or rather, smell the world in a whole new way.
I couldn't agree more. It's a must-read for anyone who's curious about the hidden depths of human perception and the power of our senses.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating world of smell, what are some key takeaways we can carry with us?
Firstly, let's remember that our sense of smell is far more powerful and nuanced than we often give it credit for. It shapes our memories, emotions, and even influences our behavior in ways we might not consciously realize.
It's like a secret language that's constantly whispering to us, influencing our perceptions and experiences.
Exactly. And secondly, let's embrace the power of smell training. By consciously engaging with different scents, we can enhance our olfactory abilities, improve our overall well-being, and even rediscover the joy of experiencing the world through our noses.
It's a reminder to slow down, be present, and appreciate the incredible olfactory symphony that surrounds us. So the next time you catch a whiff of something delightful, take a moment to really savor it. You might be surprised at what you discover.
You might indeed. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be sharing those olfactory experiences digitally, expanding the boundaries of human connection in ways we can only imagine today.
That's a future I'm excited to smell. Until then, happy sniffing, everyone.